Good morning, everybody, or maybe good afternoon. It depends when you're watching this video, I suppose. My name is Miss Tinks. So for those of you guys who've never seen me before and don't know who I am, I'm going to do a little bit of an explanation. I go into lots and lots of different schools. I also have lots of training on Facebook, on YouTube, on lots of other social medias as well. And it's all designed for kids like you to learn more about your personal development and how to look after your mind and your body, how your brain works and how that affects the different parts of your body, different works on emotions and triggers, how to talk to yourself, so a lot about self-talk and growth mindset and lots of different things like that. And so I bring all that together in a really fun way, either through assemblies a little bit like this one, but normally I get to stand in front of you guys, workshops, so I come in and work with different classes on different things. I'm writing a book, which hopefully you guys should get to see soon, and that's all to do with how to talk to yourself and what you should say, and this little inner voice in here. And the way all that's come from is I studied that I still study it now, but I started studying that a long time ago. So when I was a teenager, when I was doing all my exams and things, I started reading books on how to help myself and how to feel more positive, more comfortable, and how to help myself get better with all those things, really. Because I didn't find school very easy, and I wanted to find a way to make it a little bit easier for myself. And I've learned so much over the years that I thought, do you know what? Kids like you guys and kids like I was then need to know more about this. So I turn all my ideas, all the books that I've read, all the ideas that I've had over the years, I turn them into trainings for you guys so that I can teach you everything that I've learned and everything that helped me. So that's what I'm going to do today. The assemblies that I'm going to do, so this is number one. I've got 5 altogether. This is number 1. I am going to teach you about the 5 ways to well-being. So that's why there's 5 assemblies, because there's 5 ways to well-being. The first one that I'm going to do with you today, which I think is one of the more important ones to me, is be active. So I'm going to start with this one, because this is the one I probably know the most about and probably the one that I find the most helpful. So I thought it would be good to share this with you guys as well. Before I get started, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing some drawing on my iPad in a moment, which is just hopefully going to explain everything in a little bit of a better way. So you'll still be able to hear and see me in the corner, but I'm going to do some drawing on my iPad. Also, the things that I'm going to show you, so some of the things that I'm going to do with you, are all linked to a wellbeing journal that I have on my website. Now, my website is www.misstinks.co.uk. And on there in the resources section, you will find this journal as well as lots of other things. But I think the journal is going to be the most important for today. The 2 things that I'm going to draw, or the 2 little almost like activities for you guys to have a go at, are in that journal. So you could either have the journal printed off ready in advance, or you guys could print it and do it afterwards. Or if you wanted to do this on a scrap piece of paper or any sort of paper, you know, anything that you've got handy, then that would be really useful too. And I'm going to talk to you through the first bit, and then I'm going to let you guys have a go at it by yourselves, okay? And like I say, I am on lots of different social medias. You can find me on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. And so if you're grown-ups want to share any of your work with me, you can find me if you search for Miss Tinks. I'll come up, share them with me and show me what you've been doing, because that's my favourite part, is getting to see how you guys have done and what you've been up to. So don't forget to share some ideas with me, okay? Maybe through your school Twitter or something like that. Fabulous. Right, I'm going to change over to my iPad now, then I can start drawing for you. And what I want to show you is, it's just easier to explain it by drawing. Although I must say, I am not a very good drawer. So please bear with me. Please promise me that you won't laugh. I hope you're going to promise me that you won't laugh anyway, while I do some drawing for you. Because it's a nice, easy way to explain it, really, I think. So let me get set up on my iPad. And then hopefully you guys should see the whiteboard, and I can tell you all about it. Okay. So the very first thing that we're going to do today, like I say, is learn all about being active. Okay. And this being active is the first 5 ways to well-being. And it's super, super important to be active. And I'm going to tell you why, about the science behind it as well, I suppose. So physical activity, being active, helps release lots of different chemicals in your brain and around your body. So it keeps you feeling happier mentally, and of course, you're looking after your body physically. You're working all your muscle groups, you're getting your heart pumping, your blood moving faster around your body. You are making sure that if you've got any fat stored in your body, you're burning them off. So there's lots and lots of benefits to being active and having a really healthy and active lifestyle. Okay. Now, as well as releasing lots of chemicals around your brain and making you feel really good when you do exercise, maybe not when you do it, but definitely afterwards, you'll notice that you start to feel much better in yourself. And that's why, because your brain's releasing all those chemicals to help your body, but it also makes you feel really good as well. The other thing that your brain does, which is really cool, is it opens up new blood vessels, which sounds really crazy, but I'm going to explain it. And this is where my rubbish drawing comes into mind. So please promise me that you won't laugh. So this is your brain. It's not a very good brain, but this is about the shape of your brain. And you go up the middle and it has a right side and a left side. But either way, inside your brain, you have lots and lots of teeny, tiny blood vessels, probably millions of them, I would say, of teeny, tiny blood vessels. And when you exercise, because your blood is pumping so much faster around your body generally, it pumps faster around your brain as well. And then what happens in your brain is all these blood vessels, they need to make more to keep that blood moving. So as you're doing more exercise, you're actually making some new blood vessels in your brain, which is really cool, okay? You're making the new blood vessels so that your blood can get further into all the little tiny parts of your brain. So there's already millions of blood vessels, but you're making more at the same time, which is fab. And because you're making more of those blood vessels, you're also making new brain cells. Now, I'm not sure if that's exactly what a brain cell looks like, but it would be cool if it did. So you're making more new brain cells at the same time as well. So your brains, the blood pumping around your brain makes the new blood vessels, makes the new blood cells, makes it easier to learn. So it helps your brain even more. So the more active you can be, the more times you'll go around that cycle, and the better your brain will be, as well as the better you will feel. So being active has lots and lots of positives for your brain before you even think about the rest of your body. Okie dokie. Now we know a little bit about the science behind it and how that all works and why it's so good for your brain to do exercise. I'm going to show you more ways of doing exercise, okay? So we're thinking now about physical activity. Physical activity. Now, we do physical education at school, don't we? And we learn about lots of different sports and skills and things like that. So this is a little bit like that. We're going to reflect on some of those things that you will have done so far, okay? So mainly when we do physical activity, there are two main types of exercise that you can do, okay? There's one called aerobic exercise, which is moving the oxygen around your body, getting your blood pumping faster, getting your heart working faster, and things like that. And then you've got strength exercise, strength physical activity as well, okay? And they both do two different jobs, so I'm going to explain how they work. So your aerobic exercise, when you're getting your blood pumping, you're moving fast, your heart's racing, and you're starting to feel really good about yourself, what that does is that increases your breathing. Okay, so that's any exercise that increases your breathing and any exercise that increases your blood flow, like I say. Okie dokie. So that's aerobic exercise. Then the other types of exercise, the strength exercises, they are when you use maybe weights or your body weight or something like that to really work your muscles and build your muscles and make them stronger. Okay, so that's all about building muscle and building your strength. Now, the thing is with that one is that lots and lots of us feel like to build up your muscles and your strength, you've got to go to the gym, you've maybe got to lift really heavy weights, you've got to do lots of weight training, and that isn't the case. I'm going to show you now how some of the really, really normal things we do every day actually contribute to both of these types of exercise. So being active doesn't mean that you've got to take up a sport or start going to the gym or start doing something really new and something you've never tried before, or taking up another expensive hobby. A lot of the time it can be things that you're already doing. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is these different things that you might already be doing. So did you know that gardening, for example, maybe helping your grown-ups mow the lawn, pulling flowers, raking the leaves up, all of that is aerobic and strength physical activity, because you're increasing your breathing by working hard, and because you're using your arms, you're building your muscles up. So that doesn't mean you've got to run on a treadmill or go to the gym. It means you could help your grown-ups mow the lawn at the weekend, like I say, or pull some plants out if they need going in the recycling because they've died, maybe planting new plants, digging, raking leaves. There's so many different things you could do in the garden that all come into physical activity. If you have a pet, if you have a dog, okay, walking is a great aerobic activity. It does help you strengthen a little bit as well, especially in your legs, but aerobic, if you just try walking that little bit faster, you'll find your blood pumping faster, your heart beating faster, your breathing getting faster, and that's really good for your brain, don't forget as well. Okay, so we've got gardening, we've got walking, going up and down the stairs, cleaning the house. If you ask your grown-up if you can help with the hoovering is a really good aerobic and strength building activity. Okay, hoovering, dusting, maybe just moving things around and having a little bit of a tidy up. They are all super normal, everyday things that you guys can do that will help your physical activity and then help your brain as well and help you learn. Okay, so there's some ones there. Now, grown-ups, this first bit is for you. This next bit is for you, should I say. Grown-ups need to achieve around 150 minutes of exercise every week. Okay, so that's weekly. So for us to keep our brains up, we need 150 minutes of exercise weekly. Okay, now kids, I'm afraid you've got to do a little bit more. Okay, you guys should be aiming for 60 minutes every day rather than every week. So you'll do a lot more physical activity than us. And that's because your brain is growing faster, your body is growing faster. And so you need to keep working your heart hard. You need to keep building those muscles up. You need to keep working on that brain and those blood vessels and brain cells. Okay, so grown-ups 150 minutes every week, but kids 60 minutes every day. Now you will be pleased to know that you will do lots of that while you're at school on your playtimes and your lunchtime, especially if you're running around and playing games with your friends. Okay, so you'll get lots of that done every day anyway, but it's good to think about how we don't come to school during the weekends, so you'll have to get that 60 minutes somewhere else, and that can be doing those things I've mentioned. Okay, so exercise doesn't have to be going to the gym or taking up a new sport or anything like that. It can just be really normal things that you just make sure you try really hard at them, so you work those muscles and you work that blood flow and your heart. Okay, lots of things to think about there, so hopefully you would find that bit useful. Another thing to think about is what's in my journal. So if you've got my journal, you'll be able to find this page. If you've not got my journal, don't worry, you can either have a look or you can have a join in yourself on some paper. It's fine. Another thing to think about when we're doing different types of activity is we've got to be creative a little bit with this. So in your journal or on your paper now, or if you just want to watch, you can split it into 4. Okay, we can look at activities you can do indoors, we can look at activities you can do outdoors, we can look at activities that you are already good at, and we can look at activities that you might want to try new. Okay, so we've got indoor, outdoor, good at, and new. And I'm going to put some of my activities into these boxes, but you guys can talk about and put some of your activities into these boxes. So for my indoor sports, for example, I quite like swimming. I haven't done it for a little while, actually, because lots of the swimming pools have been closed, but swimming's a good one. Okay. Outdoor activities, I really like walking. I do a lot of walking. I walk to lots of different places as much as I can. So I'm going to put that in there. I am good at roller skating. I know that's a very unusual thing to be good at, but I am, I promise, quite good at roller skating. And new sports that I want to try, I haven't played a game called badminton, which is a little bit like tennis. I haven't played badminton since I was really, really little. So I want to give that a go. So I've got now, as well as all my normal everyday things that we've just talked about, I've got 4 different things that I know I can do. Either try new, or I'd think about something I could try if I've got to be inside, something I can try if I want to go outside, something I'm already good at, and something new, like I say. And all those different things can help my physical activity as well. So they're in there for you too. Okay, so you can complete this. You can put more than one in each box. There might be more things that you want to try, or more things that you're already good at as well. And then you want to have a go, oh, actually, do you know what? I go to ballet as well. That's an indoor activity. I forgot to put that on. So you can put more than one thing in each box. But there's just some examples for you to think about. Okay, and after this assembly, if you have got time, you could talk to your partners and share some ideas with those guys as well and see what they come up with. So thinking about what you're already good at or what you want to try can give you some really new ideas and new things to think about for how to look after your physical activity and how to be active. Okay. The other thing to think about, and this is where my not very good circles are going to come into. Oh my goodness, look at the size of that circle. Let's do that again. This is where oh, that's a bit better. This is where the other part of looking after your body comes into play, okay? So I'm going to get you to have a think now about food. I love thinking about food. I'm always thinking about food. All of my friends will tell you that food is my favourite thing, okay? But you're going to have a think now about how to make sure that also being active is part of what you eat as well, and how you can take care of that too. So I've got this is called a Venn diagram. And I've got on here a circle where I'm going to put my favourite foods, a circle where I'm going to put healthy foods that I like to eat, and in the middle is going to be both. So that's going to be foods that are healthy and are my favourites. Straight away, I'm going to put tuna salad in there because I really like tuna salad with a little bit of sweet corn in for some extra crunch. It's my favourite, okay, and it's healthy. A favourite food of mine that is not very healthy is pizza. So I'm going to put that over here because it is a favourite, but it's not very good for me. A healthy food that I like to eat, and I wouldn't say it was my favourite, but I do like to eat them, is grapes. So I'm going to put that one in here. Okay, I quite like eating grapes. Grapes are tasty. And I don't mind apples as well. And I quite like orange juice. That's quite healthy. Although there can be lots of sugar in fruit juice, so you have to check and maybe not drink too much of it. Maybe just have a little bit a day. Okay. Some of my other favourite foods that aren't very healthy. I really like hot dogs, you know. I really like hot dogs, but they're not very healthy for you. They can have lots of fats inside them. So that goes in my favourite section. And I need to think about some more things that could go in my healthy section, my favourite and healthy section. So they're going to go in the middle. So I've got tuna salad, which I really, really like. And I also like, I don't mind chicken. Chicken can be quite healthy. It's got lots of protein in. Okay, so that can go in there too. And this is another really important thing for you guys to think about is the food that you're eating falling into that favourite box a lot where it's not very healthy, but it is good? Or is it going in the very healthy box? So you're eating lots of healthy food, but not maybe always enjoying it as much. You need to try and find things that go in that middle bit. It is the smallest bit, but you need to try and find things that go in that middle bit where you've got, it's a really tasty food that you love to eat and it's healthy for you. That's what you've got to try and find. So you could share some ideas with people on your table now, or partners, or shoulder partners, and think about whether your favourite foods are healthy or whether your healthy foods are your favourites, and try and find as much as can go in that middle gap as possible. And if you haven't got lots of things in that middle gap, you've got to find a balance of eating something that's your favourite and eating something that's healthy. Or maybe putting the two together, like having pizza, but maybe having it with sweet corn and carrots and things like that rather than chips. It's about trying to find a little balance of the two things, okay? So that's something else that you guys can have a look at and try. Now, and that is in my journal as well. if you want to have a go at that. That page is in my journal, and there's some ideas in that page to get you started. Or you can draw it and have a go yourself like I did. Okay. That is me done for today. So that's your little first assembly on looking after yourself and being active. That's the first of the 5 ways to well-being. Okay. I'm going to turn this back off and then you guys can see me. Hello again. So we've done being active. Now I'm going to have a look at the next 4 things. So we're going to do connecting and how you can connect and look after your well-being and others' well-being. That's an important one. We're going to do taking notice and mindfulness. That's the 3rd way to well-being. We're going to do all about learning and new ways of learning and developing skills. That's the 4th way to well-being. And then the final way to well-being is all about giving. So we've got 4 more assemblies to go yet. Hopefully you've liked this one and you'll want to stay and come and find out about the other 4. I'm going to update them every couple of days so that you finish just in time for your guys' October half term. So all of these should be done during the October, ready for your October half term, so that you can have a fabulous October half term looking after your 5 ways to well-being. That's me. My name is Miss Tinks, as you guys know. If you want to find me on any of the social medias, just have a look for Miss Tinks and you will. Make sure you do it with a grown-up, of course. But YouTube, this is where this video will be uploaded. So you guys should have found me on YouTube, okay? If you have any problems making sure that you see all of the video, any problems downloading my resources, just let me know and then I can make sure that I get all that information across to you. Okie dokie. But my website, misstinks.co.uk, is normally a pretty good place to start for all that sort of thing. You can probably find everything you need to know about me on there. So that's me done. Have a fabulous rest of the day, rest of the week, make good choices, and don't forget that believing is just the beginning. You can achieve anything you put your mind to if you believe in yourself.